WNBA, you saw it here first on ESPN News minutes ago. A brawl between the Shock in white and the Sparks in blue. LA visiting Detroit. You rarely see this. I certainly personally can't remember ever seeing a brawl in a WNBA game. Assistant coaches became involved at one point. Lisa Leslie at one point, it appeared to be her. I can't say for sure, but I thought it was her who at one point struck Rick Mahorn. You can see on the left, Mahorn at one point reportedly shoved or in some way was touching Lisa Leslie and she fell to the ground. We don't have all the details, but we will be speaking with Pam Ward, Doris Burke, and Rebecca Lobo, who covered the game for ESPN2. It just finished up, and they now join us. I know we'd like to talk about the basketball, but frankly, this is what makes it a lead story tonight. So, Pam, tell us what we did and didn't see in that video.
Well, what you didn't see really was the play before that, Steve, that I really think got that altercation going. Candace Parker had got mixed up with Cheryl Ford. Really the last time down the court on the other end. Doris Burke's going to talk us through it.
Well, this was a simple rebound off a missed free throw by Cheryl Ford. Ford and Candace Parker get tied up. Some emotion. It was running high all night, as it always does between these two franchises. This is the second incident, and this is, to me, the most egregious. And the player I find most culpable at the end of the day was Plannette Pearson. It was a gratuitous sort of hip check, but you cannot take the bait. You're the rookie Candace Parker. You're a target every single night. You cannot take the bait in this instance. Both players, I thought, acted in an unsportsmanlike fashion. I believe both will be suspended and fined, and both may endure a significant game suspension and probably have deserved it. Now, Rick Mahorn, I know there's some dispute as to what he was trying to do. See, my initial impression off of what Mahorn was trying to do was to be the peacemaker in this instance. Now, he does get tangled up with Lisa Leslie. She had an interview with Rebecca Lobo where I thought she made a very valid point about, he should go to her player. But Pearson's emotions clearly inciting an awful lot of action.
So Plannette Pearson was thrown out of the game, as was Rick Mahorn, and Candace Parker and Delisha Milton-Jones. Milton-Jones went over and hit Mahorn in the back after what she saw, and there's no doubt that Mahorn put his hands on Lisa Leslie. Now the question is, Lisa thought she was pushed. He definitely put both hands on her. She fell backwards, but she might have lost her balance on her own because she was trying to swing to get free of him. But it is a good point that what Mahorn was doing, being engaged with Lisa Leslie in the first place, is sort of up in the air. And another thing that we have not seen, Steve, on this is that Cheryl Ford, in the role of peacemaker, hurt her knee. She already is playing on a bad knee, tweaked her good knee tonight, and so that's a major concern for Detroit.
Absolutely, and this is a player who did nothing but try to make sure that Pearson didn't become engaged more physically than she already was. Emotionally, she was as engaged as you could get. It's just, no, it doesn't look like anyone comported themselves well. I said in the first half this was a difficult game to officiate. There were some call reversals down the stretch. It got more and more physical. They failed to take control of the basketball game. But you can have the war of words if you're Michael Cooper and Bill Laimbeer, but what that does is it raises the emotion of your players. And a rivalry's great, and it's good for the league and all of those things, but I think there's plenty of blame to be shared in this incident.
Yep.